Okay, so we're going to get started. I'm Deanna Coyle. I am one of the founders of Vesta, a new vision for divorce, and I also head up our concierge service. And we've been around for over 10 years and helped over 10,000 people. And it really stems from my own divorce that I went through that was so challenging. And I really saw a need for like a place people could come to get vetted professionals and information and education, connection, empowerment. Very important. And it's just been really a blessing to be able to do what I love and to be able to help people in such a profound way. So Jacqueline is, in addition to being one of Vesta's amazing professionals, she's also a good friend of mine. I met her at one of those pop-up kind of shop things. We each had her own stand. There's just something about her when she walked in the room. And so she is a high performance coach. She is owner, founder of Lead to Your Success. She'll tell you more about what she does, but she helps people level up and really just live their best life in their personal life and in their business. And they're so intertwined. But thank you all for being here today. And I'm turning it over to Jacqueline. And
Oh,
Jacqueline,
great.
thank you so much for being here.
Oh my God. Thank you so much for having me. I'm going to share my screen. Let me just go here. So you guys can all see. I have to put you guys in a place where I can actually look at you. So hold on one second. So you're going to be like in the middle of my screen. I'm sure you guys can't see that, but so I always like to, first of all, I wanted to just thank Deanna for having me here. And wait, why is this? Hold on. Is this not sharing? Okay. First of all, allowing me to be here, and just our relationship started, almost like 10 years ago when we did meet at an amazing event, and it was just, we just hit it off. But Vesta is so near and dear to my heart because so many people that I know need the services. So, and just, again, thanks for having me. So, who am I and why am I here? So yes, as we were chit-chatting before, I'm originally from Massachusetts. I now live in Reno, Nevada. I had an illustrious career in magazine publishing, and maybe like some of you, I had this defining moment in my life where actually there were two of them where I sort of like hit over the head that something had to change and something had to give. And one of those was that I was driving my kids to DCD where they used to go. And I just was like, I'm not living my best life. Something has to change. And uh, and I'll be honest, I contemplated divorce. It was either divorce or it was change communication, change what I was doing. And I kind of came home that day and I wrote out what I wanted in my life, what I felt was my purpose and my mission. And I realized that as a family and as a unit, we were not aligned together, and we had to realign what we wanted. And we had to figure out what we wanted as a family. And I had to figure out what I wanted in my business. I was working in a business that, and this is gonna come out, that didn't align with my achievement code and didn't support what got me excited and passionate. So after a lot of connections and writing and working and talking with my husband, we decided that we were going to up and move, and that we needed to, I want to necessarily start over, but we had to do something different. And we shared our vision and the mission with our kids and what we wanted. And when we did that, the kids got really excited about this new journey. And we came upon an opportunity in Reno, Nevada. And I kid you not, we came out here May 31st in 2018. And by August 7th, we were actually living here.
Wow. Wow, it's already been that long.
I know, it's been that long. It's been that long. Yeah. And so the reason why I share part of my story is is there were some questions that were also that came up that people had shared, and I want to share my story because as a parent, one of the things, and even in business, one of the biggest things about why we create a vision and a mission statement is so that when we share that with other people, we can really get them excited about what we are doing, whether it's a team, a family, the unit. And when we keep sharing it, it creates cooperation because other people are behind it. And that's also a little bit of a defining moment that if you are sharing your vision and your mission and your team isn't behind it, or there's somebody on your team that doesn't share that or cannot get on board, maybe they need to change teams. Or maybe you need to try to figure out what their vision and mission is and if it can be incorporated into the greater mission. But I know that when I work with teams and when I work with even my own family, when we shared that vision and mission and got them excited, let me tell you, I couldn't pack up a 6,000 square foot house all by myself. So I had to get their cooperation. So they had to be in there. When I started, building a team out here, I had to share my vision and get them on board to help grow. So that's really defining that mission. So as a coach, I do work with my clients on helping them with their vision and their mission and creating their plans and what they want to do. Now, here, I'm going to hopefully this is a coaching thing. So in the sense of I will be asking questions and I'm hoping that you will be open to participating because we like participation. So, okay. So everything that I'm sharing today with you guys, and it's part of my LEAP program, and it's my framework that I designed. And the LEAP framework is the L is leveling up your communication. It's setting your achievement code. It's your values, your goals. It's the communication that you say to yourself every single day that gets you excited. And there was a question about imposter syndrome. And I want to share with you that imposter syndrome, I can't think of any leader. I'm thinking like Steve Jobs, huge imposter syndrome. I mean, if you have imposter syndrome, just remember you're in good company. But the way that helps you get through imposter syndrome is what you say to yourself. What is your mission and your mantra that you tell yourself every single day? And can you really look at your accomplishments and know that those are what make you you? And we have to remind ourselves of the good that we do. That imposter syndrome can sit on our shoulders. We just have to communicate that we are really awesome people and we're great at what we are doing. We've got great achievements and what we tell ourselves every day. So just kind of want to share that. Energy is really important. How many of you, and you can either put it in the chat, have watched When Harry Met Sally, right? And you all know the scene. She's at the deli and she's doing what she's doing. I'm not going to do that now. But there's a lady that says, I'll have what she's having because she created this awesome energy. And so your energy really matters. It's what attracts people to you. It's your vibe. And I've said this 1,000 times, and if you've heard me say it, you're going to hear me say it a million more. Your vibe attracts your tribe. You all know it when you walk into a room, somebody who has a lot of energy or somebody that's kind of down in the dumps. So this is something that I really love working with people on, is making sure that we're manifesting the right energy for you in the right times. We all go through different levels of energy throughout our day, and we go to different levels of energy when we're under stress, when we're super excited. So it's using that energy to our advantage. And I love working with people on that. Okay, so we've got our communication, we've got our energy, we've got action. We're going to create an action plan around that vision and your mission and really what you want to do that's also going to support your energy. And then I kind of put the two P's together with propel and performance. Propel is moving us forward and making the right connections and acting on those actions, but the performance is MMA. We're measuring and monitoring and adjusting what we are doing to keep us moving forward and keeping us propelling us forward. We always have to have that time to reflect and analyze. And it's a deep part and it's a needed part. It's like stretching. We all hate doing it, but it's needed. I'm one of those people. Trust me, I hate doing it because I feel like I don't need it, but y'all know that you do. So, um, so where do we go with our vision and our mission? So what I wanted to share here is, back in, when did we do this? July? Maybe it was in July. We did the first one.
I'd have to check. I think it was May.
May. Okay. So we shared back in May, there was a precursor, I guess, in a sense to this, but it's not, it was really helping you define your mission and your
And
mantra.
Jacqueline, we can send out the recording to
Oh,
this as
perfect.
well as the recording for the other for you guys to see.
Awesome. Great. So what I wanted to share here is that each and every one of us has a mission and a purpose. Now, I guess I should ask in the show of hands and we can kind of go in the chat. Uh, who has written out their mission or their vision? Yes. All right. So I got Deanna. Who else? Oh, and Walter says he has. Great. Elizabeth, you have not. Tara has. Awesome. Fantastic. Oh, and I just want to go back. Somebody had asked, what was the Brittany, you had asked, what was the saying you just said about your energy? Your vibe attracts your tribe. I feel like I can say that all the time. I feel like it should be on my forehead. Uh, so here's the thing. If you have not created your vision and your mission statement, what I really invite you to do is take the time, listen to the first recording, because I walk through the steps of really defining and creating a vision and a mission statement. And what makes it so important is that it helps you obviously with your direction and your purpose, but it also helps you with decision making. And then and that's also where your achievement code has to come into that too. That's also going to help with your decision making. When you are aligned with your vision and your mission, the choices that you make are a lot clearer because they're aligned with that. And what that also does is that it helps you build trust and credibility with other people. Knowing that vision and your mission allows you to say the most important word in the English language. And that word is no. Right? Like no defines like, no, I can't do that. It doesn't, like, you can say to yourself, nope, I can't do that. That doesn't align with my vision and mission. No, I'm not going to go out tonight because I need to get up early tomorrow morning to work out. That's what I'm working. My goal right now is to get fit. No, I can't help you with that project because it's going to take away from the time from my project. No is so powerful. And don't think it's selfish. It creates the boundaries for you to be aligned with who you are and what you are. And it's really important. I guess I'm going to ask the question, how many of you don't like saying no? All right. Walter's like, I don't. Dan is like, I don't. I can't see anybody else's hands right now. So you can go in the chat and see if you can. No is hard. It's hard to say it because we really want to be, we always want to be helpful humans. And my hand raising has not come down. So take a look at that. I want to share with you just, and I'm going to share with you my mission mantra statement. And this is something that I say to myself every single day, and I have it written on a 5x7 card, or maybe it's 4x6, this one. And I invite each and every one of you to write out that mission mantra statement and tell yourself and read it to yourself every single day, because it will help you with that imposter syndrome. It's going to help you stay focused. It's going to put that smile on your face. So I'm going to share mine with you guys. And I will, so mine is, I will be consistent using my special skills and gifts, which is connecting people together to help them level up in their life and business to accomplish being an amazing coach and person who serves others and helps them be their best. And in doing so, I get to achieve my greatest fulfillment, which is helping my family and helping others in their life. So, and I have that, it's kind of on my card that I say every day. So I highly recommend that. So we've got our vision, we've got our mission, we know what we're going to be doing. You guys can, I'm not going to go into writing it, but what I want to do is talk to you about one of the most important things, which is being mission powered. Now I have on the screen a list of, as I call them, codes. These are things that really matter to you and your life. And this, our values, I call this our achievement code. They're the importance of our values, both in our personal and our and professional lives. They are the core fundamentals that guide behaviors and decision making. And they serve really as your internal compass, which will help you, people that you work with, your teams, again, in life and business, navigate through basically various situations, right? But you'll do it with consistency and integrity. It really helps foster a positive culture because it starts with your alignment and who you are. So what I would like for you guys to do is take a few minutes, look at this list, and pick 5 that matter most to you. Now, there are maybe some other words that might not be on this list that also resonate with you. If it's not on this list, that's okay. Write it down if it resonates with you. For example, I realize I don't think I put on here authenticity, and that's one of my words. So my words are integrity, authenticity, excellence, service, and leadership. So I'm going to give you guys a few minutes to. And as you're writing them down, I want you to also think about reflecting as to why they're important and how they guide your decisions and actions. And if you're comfortable, if you have your words, I'd love for you guys to share them in the chat. Oh, Dan, I like yours. Passion, courage, commitment, compassion and creativity. Ooh, Walter has adaptability, creativity, growth, honesty, and wellness. I like those too. Those are good. Integrity, empathy. Elizabeth, passion, trust, creativity. Okay, so here's the scary part. If anybody feels comfortable, I would love for you guys to go on mute, go off of mute, and share the reasons behind your choices. Then I'll speak at once.
I'll start.
Okay. Thanks,
I,
Walter.
I was looking for like overlap and sort of super traits. So I took honesty because it's really important, but also it covers a lot of things like integrity and responsibility. So I think it's a superset of sort of a way of living. I took adaptability because there's so many times we have a plan and it doesn't work. Sometimes it actually works against me because I'm too adaptable. Creativity, I think it's important that we find that outlet. Wellness, I've been in situations where people haven't been so well, and it's really, really important to me. And growth, just like as I get older, just wanting to feel like I'm improving.
Oh, I like that. That's really good. Like, thank you for sharing that. And wellness, I think I would agree with you. I think wellness is it's so important. And I'll share a story later about wellness.
It's also a super word because the words like balance in there, there's different things in there that
Right.
perseverance. It's also growth too. I mean, it covers a lot of things. There's certain words there that they're sort of at the bottom of the tree.
Yeah.
Way.
Yeah. Okay. Anybody else? So thank you so much for sharing. Anybody else would want to go off mute and share?
I will.
Okay. Thanks, Deanna.
There's so many other words. I mean, really all of them, right? Because I'm just now realizing leadership, right? And of course, leadership has to be one of my, and gratitude and optimism. You know me, I'm naturally just an optimistic person. But the five words I picked were the ones that just first like called out to me, like passion. You have to have a passion for whatever you're doing. I am passionate about helping people who are affected by divorce in any way just move to a better place in their life, and whatever that is. And then courage. Like there's so many things like I've really learned to be a lot more courageous over however many of the years because I realized stepping out of my comfort zone is how I can really make a difference in the world. And it's not about me and how I'm feeling. It's who I get to be. And commitment. You have to be committed. Building a business, especially one that helps people through divorce, like for over 10 years, like that. I am just so committed to that. And compassion, I have to have compassion. I've talked to thousands of people who are looking for guidance, and they can tell that I care about them in the short conversation that we have. And creativity, I've noticed that all of us that shared ours had creativity. Oh, and then I see Brittany's
Yep.
that didn't have it, but she added some other awesome ones. But creativity, I think like anytime you're, just building a business, building your best life, you have to be creative and think of different ways to get to wherever it is that you're going.
Yep. No, I would agree. I would really, really agree. So these values, this is what I call your achievement code. And the reason why this is to me, these are so important. They're the things that drive you. And it also helps you with that vibe that's going to help you attract your tribe and also where you go in life and the people that you surround yourself with.
Yes.
Like Deanna, you shared that passion and courage and commitment and compassion. It's going to be very difficult for you to do business and work with other people that don't have compassion.
Mm.
Right? it's
That is what we screen our professionals for. Compassion, right? And they have to be good at what they do, but also have to have that compassion that people can feel when they speak with you.
right. And so that's what I like about this. And I'm going to share this kind of a little story. Now, unfortunately, this company, and I don't, they had a big snafu, but they've done something that's really huge, and that's CrowdStrike. So CrowdStrike CEO during the pandemic, a lot of the people in his company, and I don't know if you guys know this story, and if you do, just let me embellish it for a little, share it with you, because it's really means a lot to what he did. His company is growing, and during the pandemic, people on his team and throughout the company, they wanted to get behind a couple of movements, and he is always looking at where his team is and where people are, wanting for them to put forth money, to charity. And so he looked into a couple of these organizations that people in his company were really passionate about. And he dug, and he's like, you know what? No. He used that good word, no. No, I am not going to support this charity or these charities. They don't align with my values and the values that I have set forth that I want in this company. And so what he did is he actually said to all the entire company, he said, we are not supporting this organization. It doesn't align. So if that aligns with you, here's a package. Leave this company because your values don't align with the values of the company, and go forth. And he gave packages to people. He really sought the people and kept the people whose vision and achievement code aligned with his. And what did that end up doing? Is it ended up creating a stronger, more productive company. Now, granted, obviously they had a huge problem with the whole, airline snafu, but at the core of it is that when this was going on, it really helped elevate the company because everybody was aligned, and it was key alignment. And so, so I love kind of like sharing that. And so that's where really sharing your vision and knowing who you are and knowing what you want really can drive you forward. Now, I just want to share another quick company that I'm sure you have all heard of. Nike is a awesome company in a lot of ways, but what I like about sharing about where their mission is that their mission, and I'm just going to read this because I can't recite it off. I mean, besides, just do it. That's their slogan, but it's to bring inspiration and innovation to every athlete in the world. If you have a body, you're an athlete. And their vision is to remain the most authentic, connected, and distinctive brand. Their alignment is Nike's mission to inspire and innovate athletes is closely tied to its vision of maintaining authenticity and connection with customers. Nike's products, marketing campaigns, and community initiatives consistently reflect this alignment, focusing on empowering athletes and staying connected with their needs. So they've got really great words in there that have the words of their achievement code in how they are describing their vision and their alignment to their vision and their mission. So I do invite you guys to take your mission statement and your vision and using the words that you have now picked to craft that into a deeper mission and alignment to making sure that they are together. Now, we've all also known other great companies that have had big fails. And one of the biggest ones that I can think of most recently is Anheuser-Busch. And y'all know why. But Anheuser-Busch lost huge market share. And it's when you lose it, it's harder to get it back. So this is why I I'm a true believer in looking at your vision, your mission, and making sure they're aligned. And you've got your achievement code all packed into a nice bundle. And if you need help with it, you'll know, like I'll share with you a fast track strategy session. I do a complimentary session. I want to make sure that you are all on the right page. I also, and I'm just going to share this, but I'll put it on here. I do have a Unstoppable Achievement journal, which actually also helps do your vision and your mission and all that fun stuff. And it's free. Just wanted to share that with you guys. So we've got our achievement code. We know what we want. And we know the values that really matter to us. Well, now we have one more thing that we also need to, well, a couple more things we need to do. Is each and every one of us has a superpower. One of my superpowers is connection. I love, and Deanna's shaking her head. Like, I love connecting people together. I just love it. I don't care what you're doing in your life. I want to help connect you with the right people or the right thing. It is like my MasterCard thing that it's priceless to me. If we get together and I can help you some way and make a connection somehow, some way, you just filled my cup. So take a look at this list. And again, I'd like you to pick 5 things from this list. It's another little exercise to identify your strengths and your passions, because they need to be aligned again with that vision and our mission and our achievement code. I love to share, you cannot be in marketing and be a super marketer for a fishing company if you hate fish or fishing. You just can't. I'll give us a couple of minutes to pick 5. I think I put networking on here instead of connecting, but I don't know. Again, really, I do encourage you to think about, how these strengths and passions manifest, in your personal and professional lives.
You have writing on there twice for the
Oh,
list. That's one of my
oops.
that's one of my superpowers.
Well, there, you know what?
Not writing, but noticing that kind of thing.
Well, there you
QA.
go.
Attention to detail.
I think so.
I do have writing on there twice. I think I was like, I must have missed it because I kept thinking it was so important. Because writing is, and journaling is really important. Being a wordsmith is huge. So when you have your words, please, share your strengths, and, please share them in the chat. Deanna, resilience and analytical thinking, I'm like, yes, those are definitely superpowers of yours.
It's interesting. I was thinking I definitely have attention to detail, but sometimes so much so that it could hold me back, if that makes sense.
Yes. Yep. Sometimes it's the,
Like, oh, somebody re-entering.
it's actually one of the things that I actually share with some people, because we don't want to be analysis paralysis, right? Or the attention to detail. Sometimes sometimes we just have to say go, right?
Right.
Can't make, I actually, a bunch of, one of my clients, is, in real estate, and she's like, well, I wanted to go live, but my makeup wasn't right. And I was like, girl, have you seen mine? Like, I'm on my Peloton with a sweaty selfie. I
You
mean,
just, yeah, I mean, I love the videos and stuff that you do, Jacqueline, and authenticity like that is so you, right?
just,
And
I'm
I
like,
think
just,
that
yeah.
helps people more than seeing like the perfect Jacqueline, which, you know
Right.
what I mean? Yeah,
Right. Because we're none of, I mean,
no one's perfect.
no one's right.
And
No one's perfect. We all make mistakes. We're all, but I don't, why are bloopers so awesome? Because you're seeing that in people. So again, I'm going to ask, who feels comfortable sharing their words, and um, what they mean to them? Can go off mute.
Not all at once.
You know? All right, Walter, you want to share again?
Sure, I can do that. I don't have a problem with that. Let me see, what did I put down? So, um, creativity,
Yeah.
the whole world is a Rorschach test for me, and I see things that people don't see. I make connections. Enthusiasm, talk to my kids about that. Attention to detail, we've already gone over that. And I was just thinking too that sometimes that is an issue, but I had an insight with these achievement codes, passion, compassion, adaptability, all those things can be negative, but I was thinking when you line them up with your mission, then you can see that when you are being too much attention to detail, you're not being mission, you can get off your mission. So actually, I think that's a pretty good insight that I've just had. Collaboration, I love being on a team and problem solving. It's just, I'm a math person by nature, and I loved word problems when I was in school, which was unusual.
That's cool. I like that. Yeah. Anybody else want to share? Pretty please. Okay, I'm not going to force anybody, but here's what I want to do. What Walter said is just really intuitive and astute, which is basically they knowing your superpowers and aligning them with your vision and your action. It helps you really be authentically you and aligned with your mission, and keeps you focused and keeps you moving forward, so that when you have it written out and you know what you're doing and you have this like front and center, when you're, life and, business, we're all on this roller coaster, right? And so it really does help you when you're with that perseverance, and when you're at that low and you really need the push to go back up. When you have this alignment and you can focus on your mission and your vision and you've got your superpowers, it can really help you get back up, moving forward, and getting over, you know to that next level, and and have the grit. And it's the learning too. We all learn in those moments too. So it helps with that alignment, and keeping us moving forward. So where does this all play into the strategic plan? I'm sure you're probably thinking, okay, well, where does that go? Well, let me share with you. So as I shared earlier, knowing your vision and your mission and your superpowers and having your code, this is where you get to define your goals, the actions that you want to take, and color code them, basically, in a sense where what you are doing, you get to look at what you've got, what's your plan. Take the time, and I always say this, a lot of my clients actually send me their weekly plan and their monthly plan at the beginning of the month, and every single week we take a look at it. And why? Because we've set clear goals that are aligning with their vision and their mission, and the actions that they're doing are aligning with their achievement code and their superpowers. And when we look at their calendar and the actions that we have set up, it's all those baby steps that move us forward. We get to look at the calendar and say, oh, guess what? This big thing that's, that doesn't have a color code, or that's, we look at it, it's not aligned with what you're doing. Well, guess what? That's where you get to choose to say no, or you can do it. You can put it on your calendar, delegate it, delay it again, or just ditch it. Right. So those are the key things, is that when we're crafting your plan based on that vision and mission, we're going to create your plan with key goals. And I always like to say, we can't have too many goals, and you have to be specific. Now, you've all heard of SMART goals. I like to take it one step further, and we call it aiming smart. So the aiming part is, am I doing the action that's right for me? Is it too easy? I feel like I'm like, Goldilocks, too soft, too hard, just right. So what is the just right action for you? So I'll give you an example. So let's say your part of your goal is to increase your sales, and you need to increase your sales. We've done the math, and we figured out you need to make 20 phone calls to get to 2 appointments to get to a sale, right? So we know, because we're measuring, monitoring, and adjusting, so we know what those are. So if in fact for you, that if it's 20 and you're like, oh my God, we know that number, that's a lot, I can't do 20 in a day. Where am I spreading out that 20? Deanna might be able to do 20 in a day, but Walter, for him, that might be just not too much. His just right might be 5 a day. So we have to find out we have to aim and find out what's the right action for you, and then set up the SMART goal, something that's obviously specific, measurable, right? We know that part of it, but we have to aim. Everybody's got a different threshold. And so we need to, each one of us has to set it up. So creating the structure and the goals that are going to align with your vision and your mission to keep moving you forward. And in doing so, this is going to help you with that risk management, and hopefully help you stay aligned. We all know that our path and it allows us to zig and zag, because no path is straight. I mean, even a road, right? All the roads you may think the road's straight, but it's curving through the mountains. So by having all of these pieces together, we also then can help manage the risks of being derailed from our plan and our mission. And it allows us to work through those, again, the highs and the lows, the zigging and the zagging. So this is something that I love working with clients on. So again, I'm going to just keep saying, like, grab a complimentary call so that we can look at your goals, your vision, and know what we're working for, so that we can create your plan for success. But it all starts, again, with that vision, the mission, our achievement code, and your superpowers. Okay, so once we have that plan too, this is also where we need to be able to measure and monitor and adjust. Because the actions that you're doing, if we're trying to move forward and we're not seeing, yes, it's all about baby steps, and you don't necessarily see results right away. but I always love to say 90-day sprints. Things happen, we want to look at things in 90 days. If I am working and we're working on what your goals are and we're doing the actions and we're not seeing the results after 90 days or not even a movement, then we need to take a step back, reflect, and look at the metrics and do that measure, monitoring, and adjusting. And again, this is like the stretching part. We don't necessarily like to have to look at this or adjust, but it is that necessary bit. And I even love to, share, when we made this audacious move across the country and we were sharing this crazy vision with our kids and what we were doing. And I've shared them, and I always share my business mission with my family. So, because usually there's a trip involved if we reach goals. But if we're not on that same page and we looked at it and say, hey guys, we're 90 days in to this, we need to adapt or change something because the path isn't going the right way. Or maybe, it's checking in with the team or checking in, like, how are you doing with your path to success? Where do we need to measure? What do we need to monitor and adjust? It's, again, it may not be necessarily the fun part, but it's so important to our our trajectory. So, and it also helps us, again, with that learning, right? Being the CEO of ourselves and our lives, where we're getting to, amplify ourselves. Part of that MMA is that learning part. What do we need to be learning or adapt, and learning more of so that we can see our success? Life is about learning. We know, again, as we shared, no one of us, not one of us is perfect. We are always, as I always like to say, in training, right? Okay, so next steps for everybody in here is to take their vision and their mission and their mantra statements and craft and think about the 3 biggest goals that will help push forward into that vision and your mission, and create those and reflect. And I invite you to share them with me, and so that I can help you craft that plan of success. And you can, again, I don't know if this QR code actually works, because I realized I switched my platform. So I'm going to put in the chat a link to a fast track strategy session. Again, it's complimentary. So grab a date on my calendar. My goal is to help you level up and amplify your life and your business. So anyway, thank you guys for your time. I hope you've enjoyed this. Questions, please, share any questions that you have. And again, if I didn't answer a question that you shared when you registered, again, grab a date or a time with me so that I can actually go through that with you, because I really want to address any questions.
And I see we have someone who might have thought the time was a different time, but we're just ending, Abraham. But Jack, we recorded this session, and we will send out the recording to this session as well as to the first one that Jacqueline did. And she is offering everyone a complimentary session with her, which I highly encourage you to take advantage of. Jacqueline's amazing. You'll get something out of that session with her.
Can I just say something?
Sure.
I was talking about super categories that took into other categories underneath it. I was just thinking that a life coach is a super category over physical trainer and organizer and all these things, because those are too far down. If you go up to the top, then that will get you going, for the physical trainer and the organizer. It's really kind of, I'm pulling that together. I've had all those things, but I've never had a life coach. So how's that for a pitch?
Yeah, there you go. Right. Well, and actually, it's funny because one of my clients, what am I working with her on? It's not just her business. What did she message me? I kid you not. This is what I'm going to read it to you because she messaged me this morning and she said, good morning. I've just got home from the gym. Day one lasted 20 minutes. I mean,
Mhm.
she's in sales. She's a realtor. And I was like, good start. Right. And then, again, I was gave her some other encouragement, but yeah, a life coach helps you with all of those things, right? We
You must
package it
feel
together.
like you must feel like a psychologist at times, because that's what my organizer. Sometimes I have an hour session. We spend 45 minutes me talking about, impediments and my problems.
Yeah, sometimes it is a little bit of like a psychologist, but more I love to find out. So each and every one of us has a gremlin, right? The gremlin that sits on our shoulder and that speaks to us. It's that voice that's like, no, don't do it. So how I love working with my clients on the squashing the gremlin, we kind of go through and we name the gremlin so that when the gremlin appears, you can say whatever you want to the gremlin. But each and every one of us has it. And so it's pulling some of that stuff out and pulling out some of those limiting beliefs so that we can level up.
Thank you, Jacqueline. And
Welcome.
I'm not a shill. This is the first time I've ever met you. So it's been a pleasure.
We appreciate everyone who attended, and
Right.
Walter, especially your,
Yeah.
participation, and
Yes.
it's
I
good to
so
see you.
appreciate it. And thank you guys. And seriously, grab a time on my calendar. One of my biggest values and pet peeves, just so you all know, is, and I've shared this on a few lives, is being sold. I want to help. And so that's really, I really invite you to grab some time on my calendar so that we can connect, because that really matters the most to me.
Thank you so much, Jacqueline. I
Thank you,
got a
Deanna.
lot out of it, as I knew I would. Find
Mhm.
you to be so inspiring, and you're someone who really walks the walk. Like, you do all of this yourself, that you're looking to help other people in achieving the best in their life. And thank you all for joining today. We will be following up with you to see if there's
Yeah.
anything we can help you with. And once again, I encourage you all to take advantage of having a session with Jacqueline.
Yeah. Yeah. Thank you guys again so much for being here and for participating. I really, really appreciate it.
Have a great day, everybody.